so moving on to the next question. If an app is looking to gain traction in the Shopify App Store, what are some of the best practices or strategies that they can concentrate on today?
Yeah, I'll kick this one off. So speaking SEO mindset here, obviously I really believe in the power of good SEO strategy and content marketing. So the first thing I look for when I'm starting to work on a new app listing page is which keywords are they currently targeting, and which keywords are currently missing. And I really rely on Sassy or Sazzy, however you pronounce it, by Mantle to get these email updates every day so that I can see like how our position is changing. And also like using tools like SEMrush just to see like, okay, like for the bundling app that I was talking about earlier, like product bundles, clear keyword that we should be including in our app listing, but are there other things too, like mix and match bundles, product kitting, some of those other things that we should just make sure is going in the description, in the alt text of our images, possibly even in the headings as well. So that's where I typically start, is just which keywords do we want to be targeting, which keywords are we currently targeting that we could be missing out on right now or maybe not optimized for in the best way, and then updating the copy from there.
Another thing that I think, apart from just the keywords, I think the reviews on your app listing are one of the biggest drivers of those rankings in Sassy, both the quantity and the quality of those reviews. We've tracked ridiculous number of reviews over the years at Smile, and by far getting the velocity, getting lots of reviews is important, but making sure that they are those like 4- and 5-star reviews is really critical. It's better to get 1 5-star review than it is to get like 10 3-stars. And so really making sure that you're providing the experience, your product, the support to get those 5-star reviews and getting them consistently is really gonna help your rankings. The other thing that I love about the reviews is that you can just repurpose those in so many different ways. Like obviously they help the conversion on your app listing, but then you can take those reviews, you can turn them into social posts, you can take them and make a nice ad and you can run ads using that. You can put them on your website. There's a lot of different use cases that you can take that, and it's really free content. So if you are getting a good, healthy number of reviews, make sure you're repurposing them. Don't just let them die on your app listing. Pull those out, resurface the best ones so that merchants can discover you in different places.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes you think reviews, how does that tie into marketing? And like what Tim was saying, you're using it ultimately because your customers are telling you what they want and ultimately sometimes what they don't want out of your app, and being able to take that copy, optimize your app listing, optimize the copy on some of your social posts and your website is going to help you get more of those types of customers. And I often say, some people think that getting a bad review is a really bad thing, and it can be. It can impact your business in a significant way. But I truly believe that getting a bad review can actually be a good thing for your business because it legitimizes your business in a way that all the good reviews or 5-star reviews don't necessarily do, especially if it's showing somebody who's kind of, showing their colors and being really angry. But I really love reviews that go into detail on how the features have changed their business, it revolutionized their business and they can't live without it, and how they're saving money and saving time. And so anything like that, I'm championing within the groups so that I can use it in further marketing.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that, Deb. I do think like quality over quantity when it comes to reviews. And if you do have less than 100, a negative review can really impact you though. So I do work on an app that has under 100 reviews right now, and they were sitting at a 4.8 rating, and then just one star review dropped that to 4.6. And then it was like the emails to follow that day were like, okay, this keyword down 2, this keyword down 3, this one down 5, okay. So it does really make an impact to where you're ranking and your traffic. And then the support team worked really, really hard to talk to that merchant and turn that 1-star review back into a 5-star, and then like immediately the next day back up to 4.8 rating. So it does really impact where your placement is on the Shopify App Store and the traffic that you're able to get from that.
Yeah. All right, let's transition. Those are some things that you can't necessarily control wholeheartedly, but let's talk about some things that you can control. So let's talk about Shopify ads.
Yeah, I love Shopify ads. If you guys aren't running ads on Shopify on the App Store, you definitely should be. I I think the thing that I like the most about them is how much control you have, especially since it initially rolled out. The beta was 4 or 5 years ago. They've added a lot since then. I really love how much control you have, not only on the keywords that you can bid on, but adding in the category campaigns and the homepage campaigns. You can really hit the full funnel. So you can have your homepage campaigns that are just purely awareness. They're more expensive, but they're getting your name out there. Then you have the category campaigns that are more middle of funnel, and then you have the keyword ones that are just really focused on the keywords that you have. So you have really full control of the full funnel, and it's all within the Shopify App Store. So you can run ads on Google, you can run ads on Facebook, but you're still trying to get people to the Shopify App Store, whereas when you're running those App Store ads, you know they're merchants, you know they're on Shopify, you're just trying to get them to your app listing. And I'll say if you are getting lots of click-through on your ads and they're getting to your listing, but then they're not converting, that doesn't necessarily mean that like the ads suck and you should abandon it completely. It tells you there's either something wrong with your listing itself, you need to optimize your keywords, you might need to get more reviews or better reviews, or there might even be something with the images that you have on your app listing. Are they getting to your page and they're just confused about what you actually do? Deb, I know this is something that you've done a lot of, optimizing those, and really putting together some really great images for that gallery. And so making sure that you have like a good balance of, hey, this looks really good, but also it explains what your app does is like super important. So if you're not running Shopify ads, you definitely need to put some budget, do some testing, try to see if you can get some good cost per install, because there's a lot of control, so you're not overspending. So again, if you're not doing it, you definitely should.
Yeah, and I would like to say also, I think a lot of people think that when they're running Shopify ads, they may not be quote unquote working, but I would beg to differ. I think looking at the overall installs before you start an ad program and looking at the ad installs after you start the ad program, I think ultimately can help you determine whether or not it is working or is effective, just like Google Ads or anywhere else. It's a complement, so you want to dominate the page as much as possible. You want to build up that brand equity across everywhere on the Shopify App Store, and so sometimes they'll see your ad, but they'll click on the organic listing, and it all comes part and parcel to making things work in concert for getting those installs and for those growth opportunities. I'd also say that it depends on the category that you're in, but going far and wide can be useful, and Mantle does a good job of kind of telling you, hey, these keywords are and also Google Analytics will tell you, hey, these keywords are turning into installs, and especially if you're using like broad keywords, and knowing where to optimize around those broader keywords into putting it into your marketing mix.
Yeah, and if you are, like Tim said, driving a lot of ad traffic to your listing and you're just not seeing those conversions, I know you mentioned like the images. I think that's a really great place to start because they're very eye-catching. It's probably the first place that merchants' eyes go is to that image gallery. And one thing you don't want to do is just slap product screenshots in a gallery and expect merchants to understand the context of your UX and your UI and your dashboards and everything you're trying to show off. So Deb, I know you're going to dig into this more with your talk tomorrow, but just to keep it super light, one thing that Deb does that I really, really like, and you do it super well, is having context on those gallery images with the screenshots. So if you're showing off a certain part of your product, then just having like a heading and then some sub copy underneath that's just specifically talking about like the benefits of what you're showing off, so that merchants do understand that. Because if you think about it, coming from an ad, like they're typically going to be top of funnel. Maybe it's their first time discovering your product for the first time in the App Store. So just having screenshots without any context doesn't really tell them a lot. So that's like your opportunity to show them exactly what you're capable of doing. And then the other thing I will say is